Hi again guys, it's Chris Priestman here from hookedgamers.com. Get ready to put on your bandanas and button mash because today we are reviewing Shank.
I heard you were dead. You heard wrong.
Shank is an arcade title developed by Cly Entertainment and published by EA. In short, it is a 2D side-scrolling brawler, heavily inspired by graphic novels and comic books. Imagine if Streets of Rage had a baby with the Tarantino film Kill Bill. Awesome, right? Add a pissed off male lead with a chainsaw and you're ready to kick ass. Essentially, the plot is based around the same premise many graphic novels are: revenge. What's a better excuse for slashing your way through countless enemies and making sure the walls are stained with blood on the way? Much like Kill Bill, Shank was part of a family of assassins. After refusing to kill his lover to prove his loyalty, Shank was left to die and his lover was presumably murdered. 7 years later, and Shank returns with a list of names to seek his vengeance. Due to its influences, Shank is very cinematic, with many awesome cutscenes providing the story, which at times got me so immersed I forgot I was actually playing a game. When you are playing the game, the style is transferred, with the heavy gore, fast action and at times stylized lighting. The HUD is kept quite clear for maximum enjoyment of the background environments and the ass kicking you will be dishing out. Simply displayed is your health, weapons and grenades. Enemy health is on the right hand side and there is also a combo counter which tallies how many hits you can string together without getting touched. The fighting in the game is very easy to get used to with 3 buttons to attack, and more importantly later in the game if you are to survive is mastering the dodge button. Your main attack is with your shanks, or knives as some of the older viewers may prefer, but you also have at hand heavier weapons such as the chainsaw and katana, and a range of guns, my personal favourite being the shotgun. The better weapons aren't found till later in the game, however you should cause some carnage with the default pistols and chainsaw though. Some enemies also drop weapons which can be used but not collected. These are miniguns and flamethrowers. I wish I could have kept the minigun though. Just watch this. Absolute carnage. The weapons are easily swapped by flicking through your arsenal on the D-pad, or they can be selected from the pause menu if you're having a hard time juggling choosing weapon and fighting. All weapons come with unlimited ammo, so it's just a case of selecting the right one for the current situation. My tip is to use a shotgun for the big guys and those annoying dogs who like to gnaw on your face. The more crowded the screen gets, you will learn to trust your grenades, which can be rolled or thrown to clear some room. Alternatively, if you are feeling particularly badass, you can grapple an enemy and shove one down their throat. Hey, you ain't clearing the mess up. Apparently, Shank also thinks of himself as a bit of a ninja, as you can pounce on enemies taking them to the floor and pretty much make a salad of their face. Whilst defeating the many numbers of identical thugs may have you tempted to crown yourself king, think again my lord. As with any fighting game, you will come across the tougher enemies who prefer to fight alone. These boss battles will undoubtedly lift you from your pedestal, the reason being you actually have to dodge and play some form of tactic. Each boss has a weakness that you'll have to work out if you are to defeat them. No matter if you die, as you have infinite lives. I doubt you have unlimited patience though. Luckily, the bosses aren't actually as tough as they seem. Most of them follow a pattern of attacks which can be recognised and learned. It also helps that they flash lighter when they are about to attack you. It's not all fighting though. At times, you will be required to perform jumps to get from place to place whilst avoiding rockets, bullets and holes. However, these moments came few and far between, and the game could have benefited from giving the players a little more diversity in the gameplay. Although the game is a fighting game, I felt that after a while I needed some more moves, as button mashing got a little tiresome after a couple of hours. I seek help in the game's hard mode, which does make the game a lot more technical. The dodge/block button becomes your best friend, and dying holds a heavy price. Unfortunately, you have to restart the level. Yeah, I know, most of my hair has been removed from my head. My other criticism of the game is how you pick up health. You will find these little health bottles lying around, and you press the attack button to drink them. Although this makes it easy to pick them up, I found myself at times picking them up when I didn't want to, and essentially wasting it, particularly during the boss battles. I have to praise the smooth animation of the main character and enemies, which makes it easy to see what you are doing as well as perform some awesome combos. Whilst building up your kills during your playthrough of the game, you will unlock different costumes which not only make clear some of the influences in the game, but also give you something to aim for. I mean, who doesn't want to be Bruce Lee and kick some ass? For those that care, there is also online leaderboards, so you can try and raise your score whilst playing through the game. Other elements added to the game is a multiplayer co-op mode. Unfortunately, this mode is only available offline, but it does come with its own side story and it's great fun performing grapples and combos with your mate. It's certainly a slightly different experience from the single player, as you end up both trying to execute the enemies with the most style. A point system is missing though, so you will have to decide who wins amongst yourselves. The boss battles will require teamwork if you are to proceed, so pick someone who isn't going to hold you and your awesomeness back. Luckily you can revive each other if you go down, but that's only if you care to stop and pick their sorry ass up in between slicing faces off. I do love the game's style, which is clearly influenced from graphic novels, and everything is very smooth looking and it just looks cool. Life is much better in a comic book. Graphics get an 8. We all know that satisfying sound when you're slicing someone up and you can hear the blood splatting on the walls. Well, some of us. Shank certainly delivers. The music is actually very fitting as well and gives the game that graphic novel adaptation feel. Sound gets a 9. The interface is very simple and kept pretty much out of the way. It mainly consists of pictures and it is easy to understand, so no complaints here. Interface gets a 9. Tempting you to replay the game is unlocking the various costumes and climbing the global leaderboards. However, there is only so much button bashing you can do, and these things become obsolete a couple of hours in. Replayability receives a 5. The gameplay is initially awesome. It looks good, it feels good. Shank is one of those games you can just pick up, turn your brain off and take some anger out if need be. If you love brawlers, then this is top notch. Button bashing never felt so good. Luckily the game only takes 2 to 3 hours to complete, as after that time I felt slightly brain dead from all the monotonous kick-assery. However, the game could have benefited from some more technical combos, but it's not supposed to be technical, so I'll give gameplay an 8. Like I said previously, the only problem with the game is that it's so relentless with the fighting that it starts to feel repetitive, especially as you can only perform the same moves over and over again. For me personally, I needed some more of the gaps between the fighting of the same enemies when the game operates more as a platformer. Jumping from pole to building and avoiding death traps, things like that. Or maybe I just want to be a ninja. Due to this then, I give stability a 5. Shank is an awesome game, especially if you're in the right mood. If you want relentless action with plenty of blood, then this is the game for you. Don't expect to use your brain at all though. This resorts back to the primal urge to slaughter fellow man with a sharp knife and look cool whilst doing it. Overall I give Shank a 7.5 out of 10. Please check out our website at hookedgamers.com.